Hi, I'm Joe Herbert with Joe Herbert Realty, and I'm here today with episode 9 of the Golden Rules for Real Estate Sales Success. And this is an episode that's near and dear to my heart because this is my business model. There's a lot of different ways to get leads and to get business and find clients. But for me, networking and getting referrals has consistently been 80 to 100% of my business. And I don't do as many transactions as I used to because I'm a broker now, but when I was a sales agent, I was doing 35 to 50 transactions a year, and it was all basically from networking and referrals. So we're going to cover some of the best sources and ways to network with people so they know what you do for a living and how good you are at it. And then how do these referrals come from those networking efforts? So stay tuned for episode 9. Networking and referrals. So we're back now to discuss the details of episode 9, which is networking for business and referrals. First, I'll just say that this has really been my core business model over 15 years as a real estate agent and a broker. It's just something I've really been good at. And I enjoy working with people I already know or I've already done business with, or having them refer me. I love it when my phone rings and somebody tells me that their friend told them to call me to sell their house and I'm not competing with any other realtors. That's the beauty of referrals. Most of them, you're not competing for business. You're already the chosen one. So that's why I like this business model. It's been consistent. It's produced a lot of revenue for me. I've closed, consistently 30 to 50 transactions every year. I could do 50 to 100 if I wanted to. I've had other ventures that I've been involved in, but the point is this has been a 6-figure plus income for me every year working by referral. So let's talk about it. One thing that I think has really been a consistent theme for me and a mindset, and I tell all of my new agents this: we are in the relationship business. We're not in the property business. And your ability to know people, bring value to them, make them realize you're good at what you do is going to determine whether you make it in the real estate sales business. But this is a mindset I think you should keep. You're in the relationship business. You're not in the property business. In my opinion, I think there are 3 types of real estate clients. There are people you know, there are people who know the people you know, and there are people that you don't know, okay? And let me explain this. Number 2 and 3 could be the same because there could be somebody that knows somebody you know. They're also a person you don't know. But what I'm getting at, though, is if there's somebody that knows one of your clients or one of your relatives or one of your coworkers, there's a good chance that the person you know can refer them to you. And that's what a referral is to me. It's somebody you don't know who knows somebody you do know, and that's how they wind up getting connected to you. Obviously people you know, those are new business, but you already know them. They haven't done business with you before, or you're doing repeat business with them. And your client relationship program is how you're going to build rapport, trust, and send value to these people you know, and that's how they're going to wind up referring you. And the client relationship program, that's another video, but for now, you have relatives, neighbors, coworkers, friends. These are people you know. All of their friends, relatives, coworkers, or neighbors, those are number 2. Those are the people who know the people you know, and they're going to be referrals for you. The third category, I have tried working in this number 3, working with people you don't know. It doesn't interest me. If I had to work strictly in this category 3, I don't think I would be a real estate agent. One of the things I enjoy is when somebody calls me, whether it's someone I know or somebody who's referred to me, and they want to work with me because they've heard I'm good at what I do and that I can be trusted. I love that. That's how I want to work. I don't want to be begging some person who clicked on my picture on Zillow or Realtor.com to do business with me. And I don't like chasing people who came to an open house. I certainly don't like pursuing for sale by owners and expireds, because every other agent is doing that, and I don't want to get in that competitive circle. There's farming and door knocking. There's sending out postcards. I'm just not interested in that. I'm working in category number 1 and category number 2, and that's what this video is about. So what are these sources of business and referrals? If you don't know a lot of people, where can you build up your sphere of influence so that you can do business with them or they can refer you? And these are 5 categories. I've worked in 4 of these categories, but the 5th one we're going to talk about it, because again, if you want some structured approach, this 5th bullet point is important. But you can join a service club or a service organization, and we're going to talk about what those are. But service organization is like Rotary or Kiwanis or Lions Club, where the goal of that organization is to help people that are less fortunate than you to give back to the community. Those are service clubs and service organizations. Obviously, you can support a charity, HANDS, Habitat for Humanity, the American Cancer Society. Getting involved with these charities, helping them with their events, donating time to be on their committees. Start or join a referral group or a referral service. Most realtors in our town are familiar with Cardis. That's where you'll get referrals from Cardis if you're working with a client who is employed by a certain employer. And we'll talk about that. Start or join a social group or a social club. A social group is like getting in a golf league, joining a tennis club, a bowling league, having a boat and having it housed in a marina. So you're down at that marina getting to know the other boat owners. We're going to talk about these things. And then finding a referral-based real estate coach. If you want to work by referral and you haven't done it before, I highly recommend working with a coach, and we're going to talk about that. So let's talk about these service clubs. Again, I mentioned Rotary, Kiwanis, the Lions Club. I personally belong to the Rotary Club of Erie, and it's a great organization, and I love what Rotary International does, because Rotary is actually an international club. And I feel proud to be a Rotarian. I've made some fabulous friends in that club, and they have gotten to know me and referred a lot of business to me. I'm a current member of the Apartment Association of Northwestern Pennsylvania. That's several thousand apartment owners in that club, and they buy and sell real estate. And you want to be at these meetings, and you want to get to know the members. I've even been on the board of this club. I was asked to be a member of an Athena panel. And Athena Erie is a group that mentors women business owners. And I was very fortunate and blessed to be asked to be on Athena Erie. So you can find these types of mentoring groups and offer to be on one of their committees. But getting involved in these organizations, you're going to meet so many wonderful people. And over time, if they like you, they trust you, if they know you supported these organizations and given your time and money to these organizations, they'll give you business. Let's talk about referral groups or services. I currently belong to BNI. It's a business networking group, Business Networking International. The sole purpose of this group is for all the members to get to know each other and give each other referrals. At one point, I had started my own referral group where I contacted one person from every profession or service. So I had, one accountant, one banker, one financial services person, one insurance person, and I had one plumber, one electrician, one roofer, and we met once a month and tried to give each other referrals. Also, you could work for a brokerage that is a member of Cardis or Weichert. Cardis and Weichert will ask you to give a very large portion of your commission to the client you're representing in exchange for that referral. So that's another way to get business. Also, there are some lender rebate programs in our community. I'm not a big fan of them, but the loan officer, if they're pre-approving a buyer, they'll recommend you to be used as a realtor. And if that buyer uses you as a realtor, you'll give a portion of your commission back to that buyer in exchange for getting that referral. I put in here agents must function like pharmaceutical drug reps because If you know how pharmaceutical drug reps function, they're constantly visiting the physicians and giving them samples and bringing them food and trying to build a relationship with them, schmoozing them in a sense. And that's kind of how these lender rebate programs work. The realtors that get in there and kind of schmooze the loan officers will get the referrals. It is a way to get business, not my favorite way. I like the top 2 bullet points are my favorite way. Join a networking group or start your own referral group. Here's some other great ways to get business that are favorites of mine. I belong to a tennis club. I'm starting a wine tasting club. But if you play golf, if you bowl, join a bowling league, okay? A book club, get 5 or 10 people together and everybody reads the same book and you get together and you talk about the book. A chess club. You could join you could start your own fantasy sports league. All these sports, baseball, basketball, football, they all have fantasy sports leagues. Start your own fantasy sports league. Private social clubs, we have a lot of them in Erie. They're country clubs or dinner clubs. Those are great places to meet potential clients and make a lot of great friends. Buy a boat and put it in a stall, in a slip, in a marina, and be down there every night when the weather's nice, having beers and cooking steaks and meeting the other boat owners, okay? We are in the people business. We're in the relationship business. We're not in the property business. Supporting charities, Habitat for Humanity. They build houses around town. Get involved and go and join their crews and help build the houses. American Cancer Society, obviously a phenomenal charity. Reach out to whatever charity you're passionate about and ask them if you can get on their committees, serve on their boards, help out at their events. Again, this is how you get to know people. I'm aware of Brian Buffini. I'm not promoting him in particular, but he has a very good coaching program for working by referral. And one of the brokers I worked with before I became a broker had probably a half a dozen agents enrolled in his coaching program. And those agents were in the top 20 or 30% producers at that brokerage every year. So I know his program. If you join his coaching program and you follow it, you're going to grow your business, okay? And his program is all about working by referral. So here's some important bullet points, though. You don't join a social club or, a charitable organization or a service organization and the business just pours in, okay? You get out of it what you put in it. And it's like that with everything in life, okay? The reason why I've gotten a lot out of these organizations and groups is because I've put the time and energy into them. I attend the meetings so I can get to know the members. I've sat on their committees. I've gone to the events and worked and put my time in. The third bullet point is really key if you want to take it to that next level. It's called having a one-to-one. Once a week, invite one of the members out for coffee or lunch and get to know them. Talk about what they do for a living and how you can help them. Talk about how you can bring value to them. If you do that, they're going to bring value to you and they're going to give you business. So that number 4, give your fellow members referrals. Got a little typo there. The 5th bullet point. I have spoke about the Erie real estate economy several times at different organizations, including at Rotary. When you put together a presentation that brings value to people and you speak at their meetings, you are perceived as an expert in your field. So it's another way to bring value to them. I've also held events at my business office for those organizations. So offer to hold a happy hour, a cookout, or even just a regular meeting at your business location. But again, you're going to get out of this what you put into it. And here's a great exercise for you to do, okay? Because I'm big on writing things down. I'm big on tracking, planning, and goal setting. Again, we're in the relationship business. We're not in the property business. So the next slide I'm going to show you has a number of statistics that I think you should track to determine if you are growing your relationships and your database, okay? And here they are, okay? And we're going to do this for 8 weeks. And the next slide, I'm going to show you an Excel file you can use to track this stuff. But really, you could track it on anything, a tablet of lined paper. But write down where you're at with these things, okay? How many contacts you have in Google or Outlook, how many Facebook friends you have, how many connections you have in LinkedIn, how many people you have on the auto email feature in Matrix. And then you're going to do this for 8 weeks. You're going to track these statistics, how many times you've done these stats each week. So you're going to have a column for each week, and you're going to write down the total, okay? And you're going to see, are you doing these things? Because these things are going to grow your business and get you business, okay? So here's this spreadsheet I put together in Excel, but you can just write this out on a sheet of paper. You can put it in a Word document. But you see a row for each of these things that I think you should be doing to grow your database and build your relationships. And in the second column is a weekly goal. And a lot of these are 7 because I think you could do one of them each day, okay? You ought to be able to at least add 1 contact to your Google or Outlook contacts. You ought to be able to get 1 friend a day on Facebook, make 1 post a day, get 1 new connection on LinkedIn, make 1 LinkedIn post, okay? Add 1 person to your auto email in Matrix. And if you're using a CRM system, add 1 person a week to a drip campaign in there. Try to give out 2 referrals a week to somebody in these organizations that you know. Try to attend 1 of these organizational events a week. I'm in Rotary. We have a weekly meeting in Rotary. I try really hard to go to those weekly meetings. Try to conduct a one-on-one meeting once a week with one of the members in these groups or organizations. That means you're having breakfast or lunch once a week with somebody to get to know what they do and how you can help them. And then once a day, send out a thank you card to somebody, anybody, somebody who's emailed you, texted you, somebody you had the one-on-one with, anything. And then you can see the next columns are for the 8 weeks. I challenge you to track these 8 weeks and see if you've met that weekly goal. Do this 8-week plan every week until you can do it and meet the goal every week for 8 weeks. If you do this, you're going to blow up your business. Trust me, this works. It's basic, but it works. So that is the end of this episode 9, Networking for Business and Referrals. Again, this has been my core business model, and it's worked very well. I've made between $100,000 and $200,000 a year, and that's not GCI. That's income to me. That's on my 1099 every year. And I've done that for probably a decade, okay, whether the market's been good or not. And this has been totally independent of any broker I've worked for, okay? This business model works. Do it, implement it, you'll be successful. So I hope you enjoyed the video and have a great week.